Believe me, I'm on a fucking mission. I'll tell you, a mission.
Yeah, this is a big match. Big,
Are-
big one.
You're going, Neil. Paul, you going?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I'm waiting to see if I get the opportunity. I'm there.
Possible match on the cards then, mate, or what?
I don't know. I don't know. Waiting to hear. But
Okay.
I'd like to go one way or the other. I definitely want to see Georgia.
Yeah, and it's like a mecca of pulling in it.
Yeah.
One of those places where, yeah,
Fuck, Neil, are we fucking live yet? What the fuck?
yeah.
Can I
Well,
swear?
I say yeah. I've pressed live, but nobody's in the chat.
Okay, so we are going.
I think so. Just give me a second. It's just my. You
Well,
can see I've got the
I
old
heard
spinning
I
wheel.
heard the sport is dead now. Now that you know, what was that thing? Fucking Auden tells me shit now.
Wait a minute.
What?
Reasons
What
why the
happened?
sport is dead. Oh man, what was it? Did you guys hear why the sport is dead?
No. Is that
Hopefully,
No,
is
it's
neither
that
have
it?
I.
Some
we've even gone. Oh, we're
something just
live. We're
released?
live. We're live. We are
Never
live.
mind. Maybe off camera.
Too Smooth just come up and said live and given it the old bicep, so we are live. It's all right, Dev. Come on, son. What's this about sport being dead? What happened? When did it die?
Oh, fuck. Well, the 105 kilo division is dead. That's for fucking sure.
Just you killed it.
I killed that thing. I
Well,
killed that.
well, though. What a minute. Wait a minute. Didn't
What?
like. Have I made it up, or wasn't like an amazing match announced today, though? Isn't my guy Bet Killy
Yeah.
pulling
95
against
kilo.
Oleg?
95.
Is it 90? Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Catch weight, gay.
Well, that's good. That they should be at 95.
Well, I thought
Yeah.
Bet Killy might
The
be coming up.
105 is fucking mine. So,
You
like,
own that.
yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite light though for Oleg. I think. I think he's better at 105.
Oh my God. No, no, no. That's a professional. That's a
Yeah.
professional cut. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like whenever I talk to him, he's like 223 type guy. Like 225. Easy cut. I'm with Devin. I think really that's what guys should be doing. And
Yeah.
of course the classes will get harder, but that's what it should be happening.
Yeah. If you're
Where's
in a
your
weight
optimum
class,
weight, Paul?
Hmm?
Where's your optimum weight? Optimum.
Like if I had a class, I would
Yeah,
if I
you're
had
going for your absolute, for even super match, but your peak, where you
100 kilograms, 100 kilograms
yeah,
would probably be best right now. Walk around like 225, drop like 7, 8 would probably be optimum.
because that extra 5 kilo for you is must be quite hard because you're dry as a frigging bone anyway.
Yeah, it gets tricky, but I mean, I'm used to it. You know, it's really just a part of the process. Sometimes I feel weird not doing the cut. You know,
it's,
like
it's
there's been a
awesome, right,
couple.
Paul? It's
Yeah,
awesome.
you feel it's like a mental purification. You feel like you're coming into the match and you already got one win under your belt.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you start, you're in the fight.
Yeah, and it forces you to have that professional mentality coming into that match from like day one. Whenever that cut starts, you are in professional mode.
And I think that a lot of people out there think that the cut is bad for you. When in fact, if done correctly, I think it's one of the healthiest things you can do.
Well, yeah, when you tie some science into it, I mean, like when you think about like fasting, going into ketosis, your body becoming optimized and feeding off of ketones, and the purification aspect, the detox aspect, all of that stuff. I know after I make a cut and I replenish, I feel like a mental clarity that I don't feel when I just walk into a match.
That's the kind of mental clarity I'm going to have, Paul. If you're out in Tbilisi, when you see me and I've done my 7-day Jody Larratt water fast,
Yes.
and I fucking roll in there and
You
people,
are so full of shit, Neil.
what? Hey,
Yeah.
what?
Neil,
Listen, I'm gonna
let's do it.
listen. This is how it is. I'll climb out of bed with all my cousins. I'll fucking walk across the kitchen floor, and I'll just walk past the fridge. I'll be like, no.
Oh
I'll go
God.
straight over to the water cooler. I'll just get another 9 liters and neck it, because that's how I'm gonna be.
Here's what we do, Neil. We go to Tbilisi with no matches, right? And we do a cut anyway, just for the
Just,
sake of it.
just so
We drop 20
just
pounds.
to be
I'll do it with you.
professional. Yeah,
Sauna, hot bath, rubbing alcohol in there, all that good stuff.
all that.
Not for me.
Yep. Not for Devon, who is now like 500 pounds. What were you weighing over there, mate? Where was your weight at when you were over in Atlantic Sea? You were like 280. Oh, he's frozen. No, he's back. You were like 280, weren't you? You were
Froze
like
there. Froze there.
What did you weigh?
270.
Are we back?
There he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you weighing at 160? Big, weren't you?
You know, I wish I could be bigger. This morning I woke up 269 and I probably was about 267 when you saw me. So, you know what? I wish I could just snap my fingers and be bigger. I've been trying my whole life. I think I'm getting better at it, but at the same time, I'm getting older. So I think I'll be strong as hell come to Tbilisi. I think I'm going to be stupid strong. Like, I actually think that I might present in one of my best shapes ever. I really do.
Final form.
Hey, what do you guys love about winning?
Everything.
What's the best part?
Not losing.
You know, it depends on who you ask, right?
For me, it was just, it's just giving you back everything you've put in.
Yeah.
For me,
There's a validation aspect to it, but for me personally, I just despise losing more than anything.
yeah,
That, you know, it's almost like a relief that I didn't lose, and just the satisfaction that I won, and now on to the next thing. What I like the most is the transition into the next match with a positive mind state.
Do they make you feel differently about yourself?
When you win?
Depends on the win, right?
Yeah,
makes you feel
for
confident,
sure.
doesn't it? Definitely a confidence booster, big time.
Well, you can have some wins where you get really no validation at all, depending on how you view the opponent or the public views the opponent. Sometimes it can be one of those no-win situations where you win and it's still not good enough. So, I mean, I think every single scenario is different.
Yeah.
Why Paul likes being the underdog.
Yes.
Everybody likes being the underdog.
Yeah, and
Yep.
let's be honest, you've been pulling a bit of a who's who, Paul. To be fair, you've pulled some bad dudes
Yep.
last 12 months or so. And this guy that you're pulling now, Dev, I don't care who you are. This lad is
Yeah.
You know what I love about winning?
Go on.
I love like like you guys know, like when you arm wrestle each other and that cosmic punch feeling where, you arm wrestle somebody, you get something from them. And that's like super amplified in competition, right?
Yeah.
Like when you compete against somebody, I feel like you get a big piece of them.
Oh, for sure. We in football, we talk like the physical aspects, like the big hits, like the one-on-one hits that nobody's running from, and it's you're in the hole and there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to run. One guy wins substantially. Talk about taking a piece of his soul with you. We used to make the adage that you're collecting souls to work for you in the afterlife. Yeah.
Yes. and I'm so hungry for something. Oh my God, I don't think I've ever been this hungry.
Why? Why not? Why more now?
Into the heart.
Yeah.
And the thing is so for me, I envision what my best victory looks like. And this one is so juicy. Like, it's so juicy.
Just because you're in Tbilisi.
Not just that. Not just that. Like, I feel like Gennady is a bit special.
Yeah, he is.
Like, I feel like he's the fucking spirit animal of Georgia, Yeah,
it's weird.
Like,
and it's like Levon's the guy, right? He's the guy who has all the accolades. But I feel like Georgian arm wrestling is Gennady. When you're around him, you get that aura.
Mm.
I remember like way back in WAF watching him, like the wars he used to get in, like he'd stop the match and he'd be screaming.
Yeah, he's
and the celebrations. I never even met the guy. And I was like, that's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's mega. Knee sliders across the stage after victories, screaming some satanic shit that literally nobody has a clue what he said, but it still sounded cool.
If there's a soul to be stolen, that's the fucking one.
Do you think you can? Honestly, do you think
Buddy,
I'm not sure anybody can take that guy.
Can you imagine the size of the victory if I can make Gennady Kvikvenia quit in front of his home turf, in front of the
You
fucking
think
Georgian
that's
crowd,
possible to happen?
that's what I'm going to make happen. Yeah, that's what I'm going to make happen.
Tall order, Dev. That's a tall order. I feel like that's the guy who break his arm.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He can give it to me all at once if he wants.
I don't think he'll truly quit. I think he can be beaten. I just don't know if that guy has quit in him. I think the best part of Gennady, the best part of the guy is like genuine authenticity too. Like none of what he does or what he presents is for the moment or for anything other than himself.
Yeah,
so I think that separates him as a human being, from a lot of people doing this.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy, man. I love this match. I think this match is so important for like what we're talking about right now. Like screw the rankings, screw what that does for the future.
I don't have much time.
Yeah.
I don't have much time. I'm so serious. I am sleeping and training. I'm going into Georgia to make this guy quit. That's my plan. And I'm telling everybody, they can all know. They can all know it. I don't care. And when I do that, that is worth it.
You do realize that you're going to make like the biggest, most optimum, which is obviously what you're going for, but the biggest, most optimum, like melting pot. It's just going to be a vile place to live when you're not a Georgian. They will come out in such force because, dude, that is a nation of proud motherfuckers right there.
This is the very best venue. This will be the greatest venue that we ever fight in. As a Westerner coming in to fight Georgians on this card, you are in for a trip. You are in for a run, and that's why I'm so excited.
What a cool place to pull generally though. It is like one of the absolute heartlands of arm wrestling, bar none, isn't it? I mean, you think of all the friggin' legendary Georgian pullers. Think of the tradition of the sport in this place. My God, what a cool place to arm wrestle. I mean, so many of your favorite arm wrestlers are Georgian because they're just bad dudes.
Yep.
Like I say, Bet Killy is a bad man.
All of them, man. All of them.
Awesome.
Dude, the Georgians that live around here that nobody knows are bad dudes. Every single last one of them.
Yeah.
Every single last one.
And you realize we never talk about Samusha, and he is in fact unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Who beats him at that weight class, period?
Maybe Zolev comes back.
Yeah. I think he beats Zolev at that weight.
I think so too.
I just
Devin, let me ask you this. If you had the opportunity to pull the biggest match of your career, the most important match, whatever it is, it's just an idea, not like a specific match. Would you prefer to do it in Canada or would you prefer to do it in another country that is not your own or close to your own?
That's a tough question. I really look forward to competing in Canada, and it's coming, right? We are going to be pulling, from what I understand, they're planning to do venues in Montreal, Toronto, somewhere, either Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary, who knows? But so that's awesome for me. Like if I could do it in Ottawa, it'd be crazy, really anywhere in Canada. But I love the idea of, like, I feel like now with the venues bouncing all over, if we get a chance, I always want to pull the guy whose country it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want the away game.
Yeah.
You want the away crowd.
Like, so if we go to Poland, like, I want to pull a Polish guy. If we go to Georgia, it's
Yeah.
So if you were pulling anywhere in Canada, where's the optimum place in Canada? The best place for you? Is it Ottawa or is it somewhere else?
Picton. Let's do it right in Picton.
Big arm wrestling.
Oh my God. Did you know? Do you guys want to hear something funny? Picton has a population of 5,000 people.
And 4,000 arm wrestlers.
And there's 4,000.
Three guys from Picton have pins on John Brzenk.
Wow.
Name me the three.
Richard. Richard. Oh my God, Richard. What the fuck is your last name? We call him Big Bear. Oh my God. I've known this guy so long. We call him Big Bear. Richard. Oh God. Somebody in the comments, please, from Picton. Troy, help me out. And Mike Gould. So
Richard was one. You.
Yeah.
And Mike.
Mike. Yeah. Mike got him. Yeah.
I love Mike Gould.
Three.
Yeah, Mike Gould.
Not bad for it. But I'd say probably Montreal or Toronto is going to get you the biggest crowd. Ottawa's going to get you a big crowd too. But the thing is, there's no international airport. Probably they're going to go with Toronto or Montreal. And both of those are arm wrestling crazy. Like, you have practice in Montreal, you got 150 dudes showing up with and they're all 22 and under. Toronto's.
That's what's cool.
Oh yeah,
that's what's cool because that's the coolest thing.
Yeah,
because those guys are that's the one right there. It's the guys that are coming up, the guys whose name we don't know yet. Those are the guys I like. The guys that are coming up. You have no clue who this guy is, and suddenly they pop up and they're a killer. Somebody who's an absolute weapon. You don't have a clue who they are, and they're out there. And that's the ones. Love seeing the guys come through tournaments, and they're like, "Who the fuck is that guy?" Someone who's an absolute slayer on their way up, and they're out there. Reno Massics of this world.
Yep.
Yeah, they're out there. So Engin's forehead taco with a super chat. Thank you, mate. Much appreciate that. Hope you and your family are well. He's put Merry Christmas, fellas. Am I the only one who finds it strange that Levon won't pull in his hometown? Seems like he will. Fans.
Maybe he will.
Show up. He's the king, isn't he? What do you reckon on that, lads?
Maybe he will.
You reckon it might happen?
Do you think there's more to it? Do you think is that just a conspiracy theory, or do you think he genuinely doesn't want to pull at home?
Timings thing.
I think I'm going to get to. I don't see how I go to Georgia and not pull Levon left-handed. I don't see how it's possible. I don't care if it's. I just don't. I don't see how it's possible.
From his perspective, if he feels like he is fragile on that arm and he's got some injury,
look at. I don't need to be on the main stage. I don't need to
in a hotel room.
Yeah, whatever. But I think I don't see how it doesn't happen. It's just the thing is I'm training up for an event right now. I would rather pull a Georgian. Which Georgian is good for me left-handed? Levon, right? I'll kill Gennady. I'll kill him.
Who else is there? There ain't nobody else, right?
Let's go both arms. It's on then, isn't it?
I've already said it. Oh, you mean Gennady? Gennady?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Listen, he called me out. He called me out at the last East versus West, right in front of Engen. He said, after the event, I'll pull you. Yes.
Oh, it's on then.
Listen, Gennady's got no fucking chance left-handed. Zero.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Yes, he does. You think Gennady's a fucking retard?
No.
You ask him. You ask him if he wants to pull me now after what he's seen me do.
He might, though.
I think he thought, oh, Devon hasn't trained his right and sick. And then I've been training since I lost. I don't think he wants any piece of me now. Right-handed, yeah. Right-handed. Even though it's a non-prime Gennady, non-prime. Yeah. I hate that shit. I fucking hate it.
What, the non-prime thing?
Yeah,
it's so weak. All his fans are already making excuses for him. Like, oh my God, I love it. You to have so little faith. If my fans ever start doing that to me, I'll be like, fuck off. I'm the best I've ever been in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're not hearing Gennady say he's not good for him, right?
Gennady.
He's saying his form's fine.
Eastern European flakes, there's so many of them. There's fucking Dennis Flakes and fucking Gennady. You name it. An Eastern European, all these. Every time they lose, like, oh, he's not prime. Fucking prime. Mm-hmm. I hate those guys, Neil. Do you know that?
Listen, all that matters is that Gennady Quickvenia is not one of them, and he will show up in silly form, and he'll show up to try and take head off, and it will be a mega match. I actually think it's one of the best matches out there. What do you think, Paul?
Because I
100%.
want that
Because
juicy spirit of his.
yeah, well, he's not. He's just like, even if he's overwhelmed or if he's not quote unquote prime, he's gonna go out on his shield and he's gonna throw the kitchen sink, and he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna back down. I think the build-up's gonna be incredible. I think the live interactions are gonna be incredible. I think the table interactions are gonna be incredible, and I think the post-match is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
So like, it couldn't be, to me. It's the matchup entertainment wise makes more sense than rankings matchups. You know, like the situation, you set the stage in Tbilisi. You know, the face of Georgian arm wrestling, who has the most energy, the most charisma, and the least back down, and then you put it all together live. Like, what other match would we want
You
right
couldn't
now?
have
You
said
kidding
it
me?
better, Paul. That's the thing. It's the willingness, isn't it? This guy does
Yeah.
have that willingness to come to you.
Hey, Bree.
Yeah.
How was your guys?
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so looking forward to it. I think it's going to be. I feel more excited about this match, I think, than most matches I get into. You know, like,
Yeah,
it's hard for me
really.
to say because I'm always excited, but there's something real special about this one. You know,
So all we need now is Paul Linn versus Zurab.
I would do that.
Pork
I
chop,
would do that.
round 2. Oh, Paul, you went in on that one.
Bet your ass.
I
Paul
would do
versus
that. Yeah,
Oh,
I would
that's
do
a
that
good
one.
match. There's your
I would do
match.
that one. Zurab's looking good too. I mean, he's looking super
Oh, yeah.
strong and full and big and totally recovered, and like, he's looking good form.
At 105,
So,
yeah? Or 95.
Whatever. We could catch weight. We could do whatever. Doesn't matter. Whatever is comfortable for him. I don't know if he's a little bit lighter than me or not. I'm not sure where he's walking at, but doesn't matter to me.
Christmas,
You do 95, 105,
slightly
100, whatever.
unprofessional, 100 kilos. What about that?
Yeah, that's nice. That would make the trip really easy too.
There
Only
you
having
go.
to cut, 5-7 pounds.
Yep.
Easy. Do that in the bathtub.
That's it. 100 kilos, room for a mince pie. Man,
A mince pie.
think of everything, Paul.
Yeah.
So,
I
Devon,
like it.
super chat for you. Frantic. Thanks for your super chat, mates. But Devon, this time will you bend Gennady's hand?
What do you say? Into what?
This time will you bend Gennady's hand? I bust his wrist back.
You know, that's not even the most important part with him. It's not the most important part. The most important part is protecting that shoulder lane, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So my hook is going to have to be dynamite. I'm pretty confident that I can take that dude's hand, but I am ready for that hook this time, you know.
I
Like,
was
wasn't
hoping you were
saying-
going to say that. I was hoping
Oh,
you were
my
going to say that, because that's what I want to see. I want to see that thing meet dead center. And like, if
There's
you
no-
really
there's no
want,
other way.
if you really want to take a soul with you, I think that
Oh, yeah.
that might be the only way to do it. It can't be fouls and weird situations and
No.
stuff. And
No,
it has to
be
the
complete,
hard way.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, you can win prizes and there's different levels of win, you know, like that's the big win, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's what everybody wants to see too.
Yeah.
Go
Get stuck right in the middle and get really weird.
I'm so strong right now. Oh my God, he's in so much trouble.
Are you working that internal rotation, that little bit more of that supinated position in prep, or you just doing that on the table?
You know, it's really great. It's really, really great having the boys in the house, you know, like having Auden here. Like, I'm talking to him. He's like, you need to do more hook. And I'm like, you're right. So I'm working a ton of low cup multi, internal supination bicep.
Yep.
So I'll be right there with him this time, you know. Like, believe me, I'm not changing my shit. I'm still going to be able to take that guy's hand anytime I want. But when he throws that flop, right down on it, you know? So,
How much better do you think having Auden committed to the game is making you?
I feel like it's so crazy. And I was thinking about that today, you know, like, Neil, how long have you been involved in arm wrestling?
39 years, yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
Long time. You've seen athletes come, you've seen them go, you've seen styles, you've seen rules, and then you have like a young athlete that comes along, coaching them with everything you've seen, right?
It's the best. The thing that I like most about it is seeing the Ordens, the new guys, the guys where you're watching someone you don't know who the fuck that's going to be. That could be someone you don't know how good that kid's going to get. God only knows. As good as they want to go, and I think there's so many of them right now. I think there's tons. It was really, really cool at King of the Table 13 to have so many guys just come up and just intro themselves and be keen as friggin' mustard. You could see they were just into it, you know. And you all the day I'm thinking, I wonder which one of these guys will turn out to be an absolute weapon in a few years, you know. Young kids, 20 years old, 19 years old. And in a few years, you just know that some of them are going to be friggin' iron.
I think the world is going to change so much in 20 years, Neil.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be different.
And it's
like the standards of excellence that we have now.
They're gone. They're gone.
Every
year they're gone. It's like the Olympics. It's like the Olympics. Every 4 years, that level gets elevated, no matter what, and it's elevated to a point of no return. You know, every sport is like that now. It's nuts.
The accessibility is better than it's ever been. The opportunity for people to get vast amounts of information quick. You know,
and arm wrestling's moving faster. It's moving faster than the established sports.
Yeah,
it's moving 3-4 times fast.
That guy we've talked about so many times, Paul. That top percentage athlete who just is a different breed. They are out there. There's people out there that move differently. They're just stronger. Myself and Dev were on a call the other week, and we clocked a kid that was on one of Magnus Spitball's shows. And Magnus Spitball had this guy on there who was saying strongest guy you've never heard of, only a light or a middleweight guy, but looks like he's acid strong. It's drawing people in from other disciplines that might already have an incredible base of strength, and then pick up what we're looking at here. And I actually think it goes across all weight divisions, not just the heavies. All weight divisions. I think there'll be monsters coming out of all weight divisions. Hey, Paul, here's one for you as well. Constipated Devon's just come in with a question for you, which is pretty juicy. Paul's opinion on a hypothetical Todd versus Babayev. Todzilla versus Babayev. Who you got?
Todd wins.
There you go.
Todd. So when I think the concern when even Angan was talking about making that match was the last time they met. The last time they met, 7 years ago or whatever it was, Todd tried to hang on to him through like 6 rounds. He never got to the straps. He's totally committed to getting to the straps now, and he's also not catching anymore. So I think the speed difference there, I think that gap's closed. And I also think Todd is significantly stronger right now than he was 7-8 years ago. I think he wins. I think it's a contested match. I don't think it's a walk in the park, but I think he wins it.
There is your
guy's getting better.
Constipated Devon. Hope that does for you, mate. So we got another one. Steve will not do it. Even Steven. And he's put, how will Monster Michael Todd win without going below the table? Well, he kind of has to make sure he wins without going below the table, mate. You're not allowed to do that. So unless he's on the A side and he can dip down with the shoulder there, but I think there's a lot of confidence around Monster Mike right now. He seems very
how many times has he been fouled in his recent 3 or 4 matches for going under the table? Maybe once or twice, and I know there was ones we contested and they got overruled. But by the letter of the law, he's not doing that very often.
He's pretty clean.
Devin, how many times have you been fouled for that? Like ever?
Me?
Yes. Yeah, when you're doing
fouled against. I got fouled against Prudnik round 1. I got fouled against Levon round 1. So that's about it.
We're talking about the two best Kings moves and the ones that the people who we see do it the most often. And I think we're talking about maybe a total of 4 fouls through the course of, I don't know, however many matches. I don't think it's as big a deal as most people make it. I think the rule set has been really defined when we're talking about the humerus, the bone line, like from center of the shoulder.
Yep.
If that dips below, I think that makes it really clear, and it has cut out the gray area that I think once was.
And it's also how much Mike starts to look for that transition into that press, because that's a dangerous weapon also. I mean,
we could always just get rid of the rule.
So
What rule? What's the rule that we're getting rid of?
Exactly. What rule?
Steve will not do it with another super chat. He's put Brian Shaw versus Schoolboy or Chance Shaw. To be honest, mate, I think it's way too much for him. Brian needs time, brother. Chance Shaw and Schoolboy are both very serious pro arm wrestlers, and Brian, at the moment, just finding his feet. We need to give this guy a chance. Let him get some wind under his sails, buddy, and his time will come. It just isn't yet. It isn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair to these guys. Number one, they went out and put on an absolutely incredible show. Like one of the best things I've seen in arm wrestling in a long time, right? And this is these guys' first real competition. The rest of us find the sport and we come up through tournaments and practices and all this organic way of developing. We do a million ready goes, we lose a million times, we win some, and then we finally get to the place where we're pulling super matches. These poor guys are thrust onto the main stage. And when they have any level of like success, it's so easy to want to throw them to the wolves. We don't like that's the last thing that we want for them. They're already in a very tough situation, having to learn the way they're learning.
Best two newcomers I've seen pull in a while, though.
Yeah. They're how impressive were those guys, man? I mean, they totally stole the show. Every person that bought the pay-per-view in my circle that is not a true arm wrestler or arm wrestling fan loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Was it more than you guys expect? You did it?
Way more.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah, I felt like that was more than most people expected. You know, everybody will say, "Oh, I was up for it," or "I wasn't," but I was very, very happy for the pair of them. I thought they did a great job. Really did a great job.
I mean, I was invested in a bunch of those matches because I know the pullers and stuff, and I don't know Brian from somebody at the bar, you know. Yeah. But when we got into like round 3 and round 4, my competitive juices were flowing as much as they were in the Corey West match, you know. Yeah. Somehow I'm invested for this guy I don't know as much as I was for Corey. So that's the organic energy that it brought.
Yes.
Really nicely balanced, I thought. Very, very nicely balanced. Surprisingly. Yeah.
Definitely either one had the lane. Either one could have got it on the night. It was nice that for Brian to get it there in North America as well, I think, because Brian, let's make no bones about it, Brian was under massive pressure also because, you know, the whole reverse psychology thing had been hammered throughout.
I don't think that's true, really. I think the guy really performed awesomely. Really.
I did too.
Yeah,
I don't think he was affected.
You don't think he was under pressure? I do. I think he was feeling it.
I watched that guy. Of course he's under pressure, but this guy, I watched him like rise up, like, you know, staying close to him. He was so mentally ready. I feel like he was, and look at those guys are just both competitors.
Oh yeah, big time.
And I just thought that they both, you know, they thrive under that stuff. The two of you can see it. You can see, like, obviously they're not arm wrestlers, but they're such skilled and experienced high-level competitors and against each other. So, you know, recipe for something beautiful. And it did turn out that way.
Yeah, I thought they were comfortable, you know, for the most part. Like, I think Eddie's personality is naturally stronger than Brian's, just innately. And I mean, the trash talk, like Eddie was throwing bricks at him the whole time, but it wasn't really affecting him. So you got to see great like psychological warfare, and then you got to see how to handle it and overcome it. Yep. Like, I thought it was really natural. And I think what the fans and the people who watched it for the first time really were drawn to was the fact that it was genuine. You know, this is genuinely those two guys making adjustments at the level that they're at on the biggest stage possible, under the most amount of pressure, and still being entertaining and comfortable. Like, they're superstars, you know?
Without a shadow of a doubt, mate. Without a shadow of a doubt. So, one for you here, Dev. Autumn versus Schoolboy. What are your thoughts? This is from Context. Tank Forward. Mate, thank you for your super chat, and I've put that to the man who knows Auden the best.
You know, people are really excited about Auden. So am I. I think today, look, it's so hard to me to gauge. I really should never comment on Auden's level. That's probably what I should do, because I dream with Auden, and I know in Auden's mind he thinks he can beat everybody, and I'm starting to believe him. You know,
Great.
but
love it.
I as his father would keep him away from Schoolboy for a while.
Yeah.
The guy's
Listen,
older, more
Schoolboy's like
seasoned.
290 pounds. He's like
Yeah,
290 pounds. He's
right.
huge.
He's
Big.
way bigger. There's a whole lot of factors that,
Yeah.
you know, I'd keep him away from Schoolboy for now. We are there's like one thing that we're not short of with Auden is match proposals.
Yeah,
Like,
even got
that
another one here.
kid-
Frantic's just jumped in and put me and Auden left-handed. Frantic, don't actually
yeah.
know your real name, mate, but Dev may know you. I don't know who you are, brother, but it looks like you're from the Scandies, and it may be that you're a bad dude.
Yeah.
Tell Devin your real name, and there's another match proposal.
Right? Yeah. There's a few places that are waiting for me to get back to him, and I know where I want him to pull. And we should know within the next. I'm guessing we should know within the next week exactly, so we can nail it down. But
Are you allowed to sneaky
Auden's good.
preview you, mate, or give us a little bit of a sneaky preview on who that might be?
Well, there's discussions in India. There's discussions in North America. So those are the two next places that he will very likely pull.
Can I take a flyer that one of them is Artem Taranenko?
That's a great guess. That's a great guess. Yeah.
Why they pay me the big bucks, Dev. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Right there.
That's a good one. I mean, that one's a very logical one. You know, it makes sense. There's draw behind it. There can be hype. You know, similar
but
weights.
It's got to happen soon. It's got to happen soon.
Yeah, because it's gonna. The longer we wait, the match becomes irrelevant.
Yeah, and I think right now, I don't know exactly. I think it's a good match right now. I think both of them think that they have a shot. Artem is probably a slight favorite today, but you know, even months away, like you don't know exactly where we land. You know,
I think you're spot on. I think like the Vegas odds would make like Artem the favorite based on experience and like all these other factors. But I think that match would come down to who peaks right, like who tapers the right way and comes in really fresh. Like I really think it would come down to something like that, and then probably on the table adjustments. You know, I think it'd be razor close, and it could be really good. I think it'd be back and forth.
So obviously,
depending on when it's done.
Sticky with that Kings as well, isn't he? He was. I watched him a great deal when we were over in Atlantic City. And to be fair to the kid, he was never off the table. Pulled his ass off, absolutely all over the place.
Like 4 days in a row.
Yeah, hey, never stopped.
That's what we do here. We run 4 days in a row and then 3 days with weights.
Yeah, he never stopped. He was just never off the table. Pull anyone, anytime. Can't knock the lad. He was mega. He was going at it, balls out, and he looked very sticky. Steve will not do it. It's just come back in and said, yeah, I heard the cracking down on the Kings, funnily enough, and wish they would leave it alone as it gives the guys with that disadvantage a little more of a chance. But, mate, they're not cracking down on it in the Devon Larratt household. Let me tell you right now.
Cracking down. Hey, if you come and do a match.
Every frigging time I looked at the table, some guy was jumping on Auden. Even Barbora was jumping on Auden, and he was in a Kings. He was never out of the Kings move.
We don't call the Kings move foul here at Ottawa High Hookers. We don't call it.
No. You could see how comfortably becoming.
You are fully allowed to run hype. We had a new guy. We had a guy with like 3 practices under his belt to have a super match last practice. Total hyperextension. Totally under the table. Gosh. We're all like, oh no, maybe this is the time when we should have that rule, but we fucking let it run, and he didn't break his shit. But yeah, we run no Kings move foul here. No, you guys don't in Arm Wars either. So
no,
but you're not letting brand new guys do it.
No, we're not letting brand new guys do it. We let it. We do let it.
We do.
In Canada, they're up there teaching the techniques of the open top roll on guys' first practice. They're going through it technically.
It's funny, you know. It's funny, you know, the percentage of newcomers that fall into a Kings move now. It never used to be like this, but now guys do.
Oh yeah, I get new guys at practice that will legitimately ask me about it on their first practice. Like, how do you do it? How safe is it? And I'm like, stop talking about this until we get like a year in that. Like, and
So,
I'm the
Paul,
last
here's
person to
one for
teach
you,
you
mate.
anything.
What do you think about this? I think you'll know this guy pretty good. Brian Shaw versus Leroy Walker.
That I think
What do you think?
right-handed. I think right-handed. That is a very feasible match, and I think I'm going
Leroy's
to
a
say
power
this.
lifter, isn't he? Was a
Yeah,
high-level power lifter.
yeah, strict curl, bench press. He's got some ungodly incline. Like he's got like you look some of his incline videos up there, unreal. But I met Leroy at Michael's, like his first introduction to arm wrestling, and I pulled with him then, and then I pulled with him again at a Monster Factory maybe a year later. Significant difference, and then again like a year after that, and now I'm seeing what he's doing. He's a legitimate arm wrestler. Like I wouldn't call him like high level technically, but he has gotten very proficient. But anatomically, he's going to have some issues with Brian because he is very short, very short, very compact.
Forearm. He was at the Alpha Empire when we went out there earlier this year. Yep. Every credit to the lad, worked his ass off, never off the practice table, didn't fear the loss, let everybody jump all over him, and had a lot of strength, had a lot of power.
Yeah.
As you say, not super technical. So that does make it interesting because if Brian can access that A side, I feel like he's way stronger on the A side.
Yeah, he's tricky though too. He'll pull in those awkward. He'll get into an open top roll position and be really comfortable there because of his bicep and because of his pronation. So he's a tough finish.
Now, didn't he have a win against Brandon Allen?
He may have.
Yeah, I thought Brandon Allen and him pulled at one of the expos, and I think he got a win against Brandon Allen in a battle.
Right.
Yeah, so that is an interesting one.
I think Brandon Allen could be a good match for him too. I think that could be an interesting.
Yeah, I figure that one will definitely come about at some point for show. Let's have a look here. Carolyn Looms coming with a super chat. Neil, I see Brian doesn't feel comfortable with the Mazurenko platform. Do you see an extension of the platform to accommodate Brian and others? I think it's a great idea, personally. I think you always are going to have problems with guys who are just that big. And it's been an issue for Devon, I've seen, when he's pulled on the Mazurenko platform, or platform of any description that's raised. Similar with Vitali or any of the tall guys, it is problematic. So it's not beyond the wit of man to come up with something which extends out from the side of the table. I would not be at all surprised if we see something like that come very shortly into the sport, Carolyn. I know Dev's talked about it many times, about feeling uncomfortable on the platform. Number of times that I'm aware of. So wouldn't surprise me at all if that's something that comes about very quick. Warren, thank you for your super chat, brother. And he's put Devon Larratt and Vitali Laletin needs to happen. What do you think about that one, Paul Lynn?
I think it has to at some point, right? I mean, but that's one of those ones that I think it falls outside of like this Gennady match. You know, like this Gennady match has to happen for the way the circumstances have played out. Is like, but as far as like overall like top rankings, I think that match will have to happen at some point.
I agree. I think it has to and will. I think there's a lot of desire out there for that match, and I also think that he's coming up on a shot at Levant.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of noise about that right now as well. So, yeah, it's in the offing for sure, mate. I think we're going to see that in the not too distant, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, solid option, mate. And I know that Dev's been excited to pull Vitali for a long period of time. Who do you see as the tougher match, Dev? The guy you're about to face, or Laletin, stylistically for you?
Well, they're both different. And quite truthfully, you know, I know a lot more about Gennady because I've pulled him. You know, I've messed around with Vitali on a practice table quite a lot as well. So I kind of know what's up there, but there's a difference between competition and practice pull. I think that Vitali's probably harder. I think that Vitali is just the dominance of his hand is going to be a major issue. I don't think he's as versatile, and I think that, you know, the problem will simply be just not letting him pin me. Whereas Gennady, that's where
And
the
by
fight
that you
starts.
mean the instant pin, the flash.
Yeah,
That's
he's so.
I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like most people believe, and tell me if you wouldn't agree. If you got the brakes on, I think.
well, that's the thing, right? It might be a look. I don't want to discredit him. I've never pulled him, but by most of my assessment, if I stop Vitali in a way, but Gennady, like it's not that simple. Like actually, that's really just the beginning. But so yeah, but I'd rate Vitali higher. And for sure that match is coming. Like it's inevitable. People give me a lot of crap about it, but I mean the thing is like we've had many times where we should do it, but I never understand why Vitali loses ever. Like when he lost to Dave, I was like, what was that? Like what was that? How did Dave Chafee beat Vitali Lallett?
I mean, he didn't.
He didn't, or did he?
I mean, he
I
didn't,
don't.
did he? Come on.
But it shouldn't even have been that
Fucking
close.
hell.
Okay,
Come
but
on.
it shouldn't even have been a discussion.
Yeah, that was some. I mean, don't get me started, right?
Okay, but look,
I love Dave, but he didn't win
should
the
it
match.
even have been that close? I mean, look at on paper he won. On paper, Dave won.
On paper, he won. Yeah, I feel like Vitali won that match. I think that Dave. We've all you've all got that match that you're like.
Yeah, sure, and I agree with you. But I mean, still, it was that close that it came down to that.
I mean, it was friggin' awesome. The match was amazing.
Oh yeah. And then he lost to Hermes, and everybody just is automatically somehow placing Vitali. And I don't disagree with it. That's the thing. We all know how awesome Vitali is, yet he's got these kind of losses that means that he hasn't pulled Levon yet.
The other thing I want to say also is there is a step change in the guy's size, scale, and prep since those matches, since both of those we just talked about. Clearly. I mean, if you've been around the guy, you stood next to him. I saw him when he pulled Hermes, and now, fucking different
guy.
I think that ever since we knew about Vitali, I think that everybody sees his potential as, really he's the guy who everybody thinks can potentially beat Levon, the highest potential.
I think so.
It's just he's got to somehow actualize it, and it seems like he might be doing it now. And, he's just another European that I'm going to eventually have to pull, and I think it's a good matchup for me. A lot of people say it's a bad matchup for me. I actually think it's a good matchup for me.
Why?
Because people think I don't know how to pull a long arm, but I do. I do know how to pull a long arm, and the thing is I know how to pull a long arm. Does he know how to pull a guy like me? I'm going to do all sorts of ridiculous things. Really, like I don't know. I mean, I know what he's going to do. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, and the thing is,
question as well, isn't it?
Because the real problem is, I'm just so freaking strong. That's the real problem.
We talked about Dave Chafee, right, and why it was close. And we talked about Hermes and why it was close. Do you not think that the gas tank was something to do with that?
Yeah, that's questionable, right? Sure. That's questionable.
That's for me what makes it very interesting. So he's very, very, very dangerous.
You don't think I'm just going to flash pin top roll him without a strap?
Hey. An interesting one.
Boom.
Tonight, Sam. Not for tonight, because we know what's coming there. So, a couple more super chats to knock over before we move on. John Stoltenberg, thank you, mate. He's put, Neil, loved seeing how hyped you were for King of the Table. For Eddie, silver bullets do drop monsters. Much love, everyone. Mate, I was excited because that room was buzzing. The whole room was on fire. It was an amazing atmosphere. Place was going off, and it was great. And I was very happy for Eddie and Brian, and happy that nobody's going to get the friggin' arm broke. That was nice, because I did have that concern with guys that are that inexperienced in the moment. So it was good that at that point I was relaxed. Myself and Dev, I think, both could take a breath and think, yeah, everybody's going to be fine. They're going to be safe. And it was also just the fact that the match over-delivered. And it was such an important arm wrestling match generally for eyeballs on our sport. If I had to point to one thing that was singly most important, that was it. Whenever you got something like that that's that big and that important, you want it to really deliver, and it did, And that was really cool for me. I loved it. Thought it was amazing. So Frantic's come back in with one for Dev. Devon, will you face Tom Morozov, or doesn't he want you to? Oh dear.
Well, I mean, Artem, I can't really knock his choice, you know. Well, look it. We all know what happened. We all saw what happened from the press conference till the after event, and there's a lot of real emotion in there, like him feeling like he had to stick up for Dennis, and somebody had to do it because obviously Dennis is unable to defend his position because he's wrong. So I feel bad. I feel bad for a lot of these guys, having to jump in, and Artem was the guy to do it, and we sorted out on the table, and he says he's going to give me a match, and that whole thing fell apart, but I would have beat him that night. That night I would have beat him.
It's coming, isn't it? I mean, my God, it's coming. How can it not happen? I mean, there's so much heat around that. Probably more than this match. It's everybody wants that. Both.
Well, those are the two matches.
I was ready to do it. I was ready to do it that night. I was ready to do it in Atlantic City. I would have pulled him at this one. I was training up to pull him, but they moved it from the States. If this venue had been in the States, it would have been him and I, left-handed.
I thought I'm pretty sure he has a visa.
No. That wasn't it. So it would have happened if it was the States, but the thing is, because the venue is now in Georgia.
This one. All right, I got you. Those are the two matches. We're talking about Vitali. Like, Vitali might mean more for like the rankings, but the Gennady
we're talking about Artem Morozov right now, right?
Yes, I know. Yeah, but I'm saying the Gennady match right there is more important to the fans.
I would have pulled both of them.
Yes. So like Vitali is great. That's a great match. It's a great arm wrestling match. But like Gennady and Artem Morozov means more to the community than to see.
I was ready to pull him. I was ready to pull him. He had the choice. It was up to him. And he didn't want to pull me, or he wanted to pull Vitali. Either way, whatever way you look at it, the match is not happening right now. I was ready.
I myself right on point with Paul Linn, as so often the case. Everything he said, exactly agree. I think from a fan perspective, they'd want to see.
Well, let me tell you, if Vitali ends up having passport issues, or he gets hurt, I am 100% willing to step in the day of the event and crack Morozov's wrist back in Tbilisi also. I do both. I do him and Gennady.
You heard it first, guys.
No problem.
From the promotion perspective, though, from the business perspective, the powers that be have got to want to put those on separate cards. You know what I mean? Yeah. They've got to want to.
I agree.
I mean,
I get that.
It's awesome. How many times have we seen these great matches added to the cards that didn't necessarily need to be on there from a business perspective? And it's like every card we get to, it's like, all right, that was the greatest one we've ever seen. Yep. And then we have the next one. That's like, oh, this is the greatest one we've ever seen.
Yeah.
We got to
spend already a little bit. Tbilisi shaped up to be a friggin' animal.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it's already looking serious.
Yeah.
It's already looking very, very, very serious indeed. And we're only warming up yet. The bloody matches haven't got anywhere near finished. So there's some bangers already out there. God only knows what comes out.
I know there's more coming. There's more coming.
Yeah. So here's one for you, and I've got my own opinion on this. And we're going to go to the voice of reason, Mr. Paul Linn, on this comment, because I think, let's see if we're aligned one more time. So David Shubich, and if I murdered that name, I do apologize, because I think that last name might be the greatest last name I've ever pronounced on this show. I'm going to go again with David.
You got it right. That's it, Shubich.
That's an awesome name, mate. If I've not bought you a beer, introduce yourself when you're at next event, and I will be doing. Love that.
He was at KOTT 13. He was there.
He's be amazing. Is he mega? Because there's nobody's name that
he's good. No, he's good. He's good. He's solid, like 220 puller. Yeah, he's good.
So much fun with that name. Get him on East versus West immediately. So he's put, if King of the Table 13 was an open class tournament with everyone in the room competing, and he's put just my wishful thinking out loud. Well, I'm going to say that if it was, Levan Saganashvili will run over everybody. like run them over. Because I know we were all talking about Eddie and Brian, right?
Yeah.
But how impressive was Lavon that night? I mean, let's give the man a little tip of the cap there.
Yeah, for sure.
Because what do you think, Devon? Runs over everyone. What do you think, Paul? Was that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the strongest guy on the planet, you know. But the open weight tournament seeded by weight, double elimination could have been pretty cool. I mean, I'd love to see where the middle of the pack finishes. Yeah, I want to see the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I feel like I just feel like that's a different breed of human.
Yeah,
I'd be curious to see how far Lavon could make in like an overalls format where he's just going down the rankings.
like king of the table, or like a king of the table, like starting up top and how many rounds? Like the old what was the thing Gary Roberts used to do?
Ruler of the nation, king of the hill.
Yeah, ROTN. Yeah, where you got to just run it as many as you can get.
Yeah,
he might do better than you think, though.
Yeah,
he might take out the whole world.
He might do better than you think.
We all got a king's move, and we had to organize it. Somebody stops him, and then
there's very few people going to put the brakes on that guy. I tell you right now. So, Devon, another one for you, French Reaper. Will you respect Opana this time, Devon? Not at all.
What does that mean? Respect him by not respecting him. That's how I will show my respect, through disrespect. Yeah. If I was to respect him, that would not be any sign of respect in my world. Like, no, I'm gonna be terrible. I am gonna risk death in front of the Georgian crowd. Like, no. I'm gonna bring a leash with me.
I feel like this is going to be the most like you know, like I feel like as far as what countries you could go to, I think like Kazakhstan and Georgia will be the least friendly territory that you could possibly be in arm wrestling. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's no two countries that are more passionate.
I mean, I agree, Paul. And for that reason, let's just go on record right now saying, okay, on the Georgian contingent, when you do rush the stage, intent on absolutely pounding the living piss out of Dev, ideally, go easy on myself.
I tell you, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah. I just feel like the the energy in that house is going to be like nothing I've felt before. That's what I think.
Sinister.
Like nothing. Like I think it's going to set a record for me for the amount of energy I'm feeling from Gennady, from the crowd. I think it's going to be just. It's going to be like
in a bulletproof vest.
Whatever.
No, it's going to be.
I think that the Georgian people. I think that they understand me. I think that they respect my love for the sport and love for the game, and I don't think that the Georgian people deep down are like these fucking pussy whiny fuckers. I think
they're not.
No, I think that they respect the gamesmanship, and I think that they know that I'm respecting them by fighting like a fucking maniac. I mean,
you might be on something there.
I think they do. You know,
I think they're the most down to earth people, and they're the most competitive. And I think they do. I think they have really assimilated as a group and as a unit to like the idea of Western style arm wrestling. You know, I think that they appreciate it. You know, I think culturally maybe they still lean towards being respectful competitors, but I think that they do appreciate it. And I think when you're going against Gennady, he's really like the forefront of the energy piece. And he's kind of like the leader of it. You know, I see him as like kind of like the leader of Georgian arm wrestling. And I think a lot of them are passively following his lead with, you know, I think they're transitioning that direction.
Yeah, I think that every single person who listens to me for more than 2 minutes knows that I love Georgian arm wrestling. Like I got Lavon on my wall right there. You know, I got a tattoo of Lavon on my body. I love all those guys. I think they're the best.
Yeah.
I always say wherever I go, Georgian arm wrestling is the best. And that's why I will disrespect the shit out of Gennady. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. I know exactly where you're coming from.
I love it. Look, I've been a fan of his forever.
Well, I think the word disrespect, I think, is maybe you're using it a little bit out of context. But if a main part of your game is to the mental aspect and the gaining of ground in the mental aspect, if you came in and didn't use that tool that you have in your toolbox, you wouldn't be showing full respect and preparation for your opponent. So it's less about the actual word disrespect, but about following suit to the things you use to win the matches the way you do. And to bring the best version of each one of them is the ultimate form of respect.
Yeah.
Well, you're very good with your words, buddy. Thank you.
I was spit some heartfelt stuff. Listen, Paul, don't listen to him. I bought into that.
Hey, no, I mean, I mean it. I like, look, I do things a lot like starkly different than Devin, but I also understand the psychology behind how each of us approaches competition and at the highest level, and I don't rule those things out as things that, are number one, potentially very good for our sport. And to me, I look at it as like, what am I willing to do? Like I think I am unwilling at times to get that tool out of the toolbox for whatever reason it may be. So when people criticize these different approaches, I think a lot of times they're not looking at it from the right perspective. So at the end of the day, it's who's willing to commit the most, and my lack of willingness for whatever reasons, may potentially be holding myself back. But I'm like in full grips with like all the things that tie into competition at the high level. I love that aspect of competition, like all the variables and how to control them all. I think, there's a level of what Devin does that people say will use the word unprofessional. But if you really step back and you look at it, professionality is doing everything possible in your power to create success. So, in fact, it could be the opposite.
Let me ask you a question,
love the way you
Paul.
think,
When you
Paul.
say
I
you're
love the
not
way you
prepared
think,
to
buddy.
do it. So, why is there ever a time? Is it even in you that, mate? Do you ever feel like you would go out and try and piss off the entire world, Devon Stiley?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm suppressing my own demons for my own reasons.
When's the biggest example of it? When have you felt most like going full Devon?
When someone is disrespectful to me. If I meet someone with complete respect, but yet I'm returned absolute disrespect or shrugged off or underestimated or something like that, my blood boils all the time. But I'm keeping those demons down. Like that. I'm trying to be a version of myself that I wasn't once. But it's still in there, and I still use it. So I don't know. Who knows where the game will take me, but I'm going to do my best to keep walking the line.
It's interesting, Paul. Your words really resonate with me. I hear you very, very clearly. And I think that a big part of, and look, a lot of people disagree with me when I say it, but I had the revelation when I was quite young, and then I had it even more so deeper when I was in the military. I remember when I was in judo, when I was a kid, I was like probably like 8 or 9. And I was raised in a very respectful family. We didn't fight. We didn't do anything like that. And when I went to judo and I saw how hard people fought against each other, I was like, is that okay to do? Are you allowed to do that? And I was like, yeah, you're allowed to do that here. And I was like, wow, isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Yeah, we want you to. We're going to celebrate you for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. That was the first time I fell in love with that. And I allowed myself to do that in that arena.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then what came much different was going to war. And I realized that it was on an even different level, like and I just felt that you must do it. You must. It's not whether you want to or you think it's good. It's just the one will get you killed and the other will lead to a more likely victory. And so I just felt like, it was a forced evolution for me. And I just pulled that right into arm wrestling. And I try to just really segregate, there's the game or the mission, and then you're back at home. And you don't have to be that person all the time, but it's to your favor to be that, to let all those demons totally free and empower them. Not only let them free, but to empower them, to allow them to do what they do, and then you have to have faith that you can put them back in their box.
Yeah,
And
the on off switch is a tricky thing, and then not just the on off switch, but when the switch is on, controlling it to a level of acceptance.
Well, that's what the referees are for. That's what the ethics committee is for.
Yeah, the ethics committee. Aren't you like banned or something in Canada from the?
Man, I just got off my Insta ban too. I just got off. I'm got a clean slate again. Yeah.
Listen,
I love that aspect of competition right there, like that dialogue, that back and forth is so important. Like just being around it for so long, and the lessons you try and impart on your kids, on the kids you coach, whatever your team. I mean, these intangible things, like the mental game in pretty much every sport accounts for, I would roughly estimate 10%. A 10% swing in success percentage. I really believe it's that high. And when you're coming in and everything is on point in that aspect, there's times where you're unbeatable. It's the tricky part of replicating it day in and day out, replicating it, game in and game out. And also doing it, because everybody has to do it differently too. Everybody has their own triggers. But I mean, sports psychology is so important for success. It's so much more.
That juicy Georgian crowd, that look in Gennady's eyes as he's dripping with sweat. I'm telling you, he's gonna know he's fucked. He's gonna know that he's fucked, and he's not gonna want to do it. He's not gonna want to do it, but he's gonna do it, and that's the juicy thing that I'm thinking about right now.
I just came over because these are like my favorite people in arm wrestling having a conversation, and I'm super busy, Mom, at Christmas time, but listening to Paul's eloquent speech about how to actually put your words into proper perspective, and and anyway, you guys are awesome. Merry Christmas. I have too many things to do, so I'm gonna run, but much love to you guys. And he had to lift something up, so I got to hold the phone.
Hope you have an absolute crack.
You guys have a blessed Christmas, man. I hope everything is awesome in the Larratt family.
Thank you, and to you as well.
Non-stop training. I don't know whether they mentioned Jordan, but I was only saying earlier tonight, I will be water fasted up to fuck the next time you see me. Yes, gonna go.
Excuse me.
3-dayer is gonna be the first one. Coming off Christmas, I'm straight into it.
Are you going to do it for real, Neil?
Oh yeah, but yeah. Jordy's like a terrible influence on me. And while we're on Atlantic City, just do it. Like Chubbs, get it done.
My dad's on an 8-day before Christmas right now. It's kind of a thing. It's going around. Yeah,
he's all about it. 8 days. What, straight in with 8?
He's going straight in with 8. I'm like, Dad, why 8? Why not just 7? He's like, it brings me to Christmas. I'm good. I'm like, okay. Yeah, my dad's a faster. He's been fasting for a couple of years now too. I'm telling you, it's a real thing with some real positive benefits. Yeah. You call me, Neil, right before your fast, and I'll make sure you're good to go.
I'm on it. And honestly, telling you, you'll be like, "What? Where's your ass gone?"
I'm so excited. I can't wait. Just talk to your poor wife too to tell her how to avoid you during your hanging phase.
We're talking like the anger management and unleashing your demons.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my missus. She can fucking do that. When she wants to unleash her demons, she does. Yeah, she absolutely don't necessarily have getting it back in the box under control.
We've all figured out where it's appropriate for us to let things, go.
She'll just go full John Jones on me.
Perfect. As well, I'm sure you deserve every single aspect of it, Neil.
She nailed me. Whose missus does this? She nailed me with a spinning back kick in a
No
hotel
way.
reception, spinning back kick, and it
Out of
landed.
anger? Out of
Yeah.
anger or just
Oh, anger. Yeah. Anger like I will kill your fat ass anger. And it hit me and it like recoiled and like all 8 tits went. They all moved. It went up my body. You know, I was all right. I lived, but
Not that I'm a proponent of violence, but what did you do to deserve that, Neil?
I pissed her off.
Yeah.
Numerous ways, yeah. I
Good.
mostly wind her up like beyond belief on purpose, and then I can see it building.
I've seen some of your messaging to her. No wonder you're
Deserve
being
it,
See it build. I can
handled.
see it build. And then she fucking just goes off. She's like a little bit like Engin, but much fitter. And just goes off and just
much fitter.
yeah, way. Seriously, sometimes I'll be in bed with my missus and I can look over and think, oh, hello. Whereas if Engin's in my bed, I'd be like, you better get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? And I don't think he'd want to be there. So something we'd definitely have that in common. Let's knock over some of these super chats before we jump off. So Steve will not do it, mate. Thanks for your super chat. He's put best sport going. Trying to get my powerlifter son involved. He's 19 with a 165 pounds and 325-pound bench and 100 curl. You guys rock. Keep advancing it, mate. Sounds like you got a strong boy there as well.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. On, fellas. Daniel, thanks for your super chat. Great show, guys. You're amazing. My respects. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're not sub to On, fellas, get over there and check out Daniel's show.
Yeah, he's
Shotgun
awesome.
Wax. Who will be the main event? Now, that's a good question. Because you've got the title match that we know about, Morozov and Lalatin. But I'm going to say probably, from a fan perspective, that would probably sit below Devon and Gennady.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think, Paul? Lalatin and Morozov, or?
I mean, maybe you could do a co-main event, but the last match should be Gennady and Devon.
Yeah, in Georgia, for me,
yeah,
gotta be Dev and Gennady coming out last, because
yep.
the crescendo from that match is going to be stupid. And I actually don't think there's anybody that Lavon could pull.
Yep,
that would top that, if I'm honest.
I don't think so either.
Who could he arm wrestle that could? There's anybody really.
What about left hand?
So all right, hold on. So if you were to pull Gennady, right, and Lavon left, would you agree to do it back to back in the number 2 and 1 slot?
Yes.
Oh, you couldn't make.
You would do it?
Yeah. Yep.
Listen, you and Gennady's going to be a frigging
No problem.
You know what though, and you know what? I think it may almost be better because you don't want that energy dump, you don't want that emotional jump, that endorphin release, and then having to you get cold and you have to regenerate. You probably just ride it in.
I think it's biting off too much. That's just me, but I think it's too much. I think if you pull both of those guys,
I'd retire.
Too much. I don't think it could be done. I think you'd screw yourself up. I really did. So, Warren Edmedes has come back in and said, Devon, you will smash Gennady and Morozov. Devon, who do you hate? Who do you hate more? I love this. We get the best questions in here. Devon, who do you hate more? Dennis or Morozov? I'm guessing Dennis because
I hate Dennis. Everybody knows I hate Dennis. I'll say it on a loudspeaker. I hate Dennis. Dennis is an idiot. Morozov just stuck in a bad situation. You got to defend his idiot friend.
Oh, there it is, guys. He hates Dennis.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I will forever fucking hate that dude until he smartens up. He smartens up. I hope he pulls me left-handed one day. That'd be great. But
I don't know what he's going to be.
He does.
I really don't.
He does piss me off. I can't believe they brought that up again.
I know.
You want me to talk about Dennis more?
Never go away, will it?
Will they talk about how much I hate Dennis? I'll get you banned on here. Get you kicked off Instagram. Get you kicked off YouTube. Report channel.
So, constipated Devon. He's put, Gennady will lose. Why didn't he get his tendon attached lower? Terrible surgeon.
What an idiot.
Hey,
Well,
I asked
did
him that right
something?
away. I'm like, dude, did you get it lower? He's like, no. He's like, he didn't even know.
come on, he didn't know.
I guess my question is, if he got the surgery, why is there such a big gap? You know, like, is it a botched surgery, or did like
Gap. You
there's
got
a
a gap?
noticeable gap now between the head of his bicep where it used to be and where it sits now.
Really?
But he did get the surgery, right?
I didn't notice that gap. When did you see that? How do you see that?
I look at it in the Michael Todd match. I noticed it first when I seen him in Dubai.
Really interesting. I did not
It's
know.
Time for a video
it's
review.
not super significant. Like, it's not like he's rolled all the way up here. But if you look at like the tendon and like this gap here, that should be like a finger, is almost like two fingers now.
Well, you know what might have happened? And this is just me suspecting. Might have been
Muscle belly.
could have been a multiple,
Yeah.
like it could have done a catastrophic tear.
Yeah.
Could have
Yeah.
blown the tendon and bits of the muscle at the same time, maybe. I don't know.
And no lower insertion. I mean, that's the injury that scares me the most, but also the one that I would pick out of all of them.
That's the one.
Because every person says it tightens you up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donating your body for science. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolute quality. So, Paul, you mate, David Shubich, you just come in and put, I'm pretty sure Neil told my buddy Mike Hawks he had the best name ever. Wait until
Yeah.
my mate Holden. Two dicks. Amazing. Dude, if you even I'm not
That's not a
daft
real
enough to go
person.
for that. If
That
you've
is
got
not a
mate
real
called
person.
Holden Two Dicks,
That's not.
I will eat my
That's
goddamn pants.
not a
No
real
way.
person.
No way. You've got that.
Yeah, but you did comment on Mike Hawks before.
Mike Hawks is a great name. That's a fucking good name, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike Hawks is a great name. You do realize that that's Lincoln Hawks' son's name.
Yeah.
For real, check it out.
Yeah.
Mike Hawks, there it is.
Yeah.
But Shubich, I can do so much more with. Oh, dear me. That is an absolute quality name. Music guy. But Devon, did Brian Shaw teach you how to reach 340 pounds?
I'm doing my very best.
Working
I
on it.
tried to order his mass gainer online. They don't send to Canada. He's like, don't worry, Devin, I'm sending it. So yeah, I'm all about the mass gainer right now. I'm trying.
Another one for you, Devon. Kevin, thanks for your super chats. But will the winner of Devon versus Gennady face Vitali right-handed?
I think
I
that there's
feel like that's going to be Levant's shot, isn't it? Whoever.
I've been told, what I understand right now is that Vitali has a shot at Levant kind of regardless. Is that what I'm understanding?
I thought he did. I thought he was going to be in line. After I thought it was the winner of Mike and Hermes was next.
Yeah.
And then Vitali. That's what I thought was coming. That's
what I thought too. But look, I'm totally down to pull Vitali, when the timing's right, like depending on how things go, but I definitely do want to pull Vitali. But I also don't want to interfere with him pulling Levant. Definitely not. That's a match I want, and I'd be happy just to catch my breath and get him on the way back down, because I think I'd beat him way easier. If he wants to pull me first, well, these are discussions that inevitably are going to happen soon. But for everybody who thinks that I'm ducking Vitali, it's just not the case. It's not the case.
Absolutely, categorically not. So, guys, please don't send in any more super chats so we can knock over these before I let these fellas get off, because they've been on here for quite a while now, and we'll knock over the ones we do have in. So, let's have a look. We got Ione Paghava with a super chat. He's put, everyone would support Devon in Georgia if Devon wasn't going up against Gennady. Even if Devon wins, I don't think they will be upset that Devon won. No, I don't think they'll be upset, mate. I think the Georgian lads, if you beat them, will shake your hands and respect that. I really 100% believe that to be the case. Obviously, if Devon has pissed off the entire world before he goes to Georgia, we may not make it on stage. That could happen. But outside of that, you never know. Look, it's going to be, joking aside, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a ridiculous match. The atmosphere will be off the scale. I don't think it'll get much better, if I'm perfectly honest. That is going to be
Yeah,
one hell of a battle.
the Georgians are awesome, man. Like if a Georgian's not pulling a North American, I am like 100% of the time rooting for the Georgian to the point of being in their corner. Like Samusha, some of these guys are just like I've grown to like them so much.
Yeah.
Zarab, all these guys.
Yeah.
That I can't like. I see them as kind of like an extension. As far as just the way that I mingle with them personally.
Couldn't agree
It
more.
just it clicks, and they're such good dudes, all of them. That it's
Very
hard not to
endearing
root
lads,
for.
aren't they?
Yeah, and like it's easy to not like a country or a group of people because they're winning. But they're not like that. Like Samusha is like awesome. It's hard not to like guys like Betkeelan. Like how can you not like these guys?
Mate, Bet Killy's, that's my guy right there. That's a dude, I'm telling you. He is strong as balls, that kid.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Brain Junkie with a super chat, he's put, Devon, how will it be different this time versus Gennady, and how will you be different? Also, what did Brian advise you to gain weight without having it all on your stomach, basically? So, how are you going to gain healthy weight to get up in the upper echelons of the supers, and what's going to be different this time? How are you going to do?
So I guess the difference in my prep is going to be I will have much more of an inside focus. I massively adjusted my train. So what happened was Levon won. Like the first time I pulled Levon, I came away with that being like, this match is won and lost on the post. I'm going to put all my energy in just developing a crazy post game. So I was like posting and rolling, and that was like it. That was like the only model. That was like the only steps forward. I was doing rehab and posting and rolling. And then I faced, and it was working great. Like I felt super efficient. Like everything was great. And then I met Gennady, and he's got a flop, and I'm like, God damn those floppers, you gotta have a hook game, right? So I've rounded out my training once again. My training always changes, but I'm definitely well aware of his flop capacity, and I've got a lot of respect for it. So that part I will prepare. I also think that my life has changed a lot, and I'm just in a way better place. And I will, as a result of that, be much healthier and much more physically strong. And the other question was
about the mass and how to get on the weight.
Oh yeah. So very simply, it's really about frequency. Like he's like, eat every 2 or 3 hours. Eat every 2 and he's like, don't stuff yourself so much that you can't, it's like just consistently eat every 2 to 3 hours. And it's really not that complicated. Get your protein, but it's the consistency of feeding, that I've really got to work on, I think. Yeah, and believe me, I'm working on it. I'm just about due to eat something any second now.
Yeah, a little painful trick that we used to use trying to gain weight for hard gainers in football was 2 alarm clocks throughout the night with prepared food on the nightstand. Yeah, it's miserable. It's totally miserable, but sometimes that's the difference. That sleeping fast, getting calories in there can change everything.
You feel like a bear getting ready to hibernate. Ridiculous.
I haven't done that yet, Paul, but I think I might. I've got food on my bedside, and if I wake up, I eat it. But
yeah.
So Yoni Paghava with another super chat. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. He's put, hey, it's for me. Hey, Neil, great job with the commentary and training, Eddie. You're definitely one of my favorites in arm wrestling world. He's like the Antichrist of my missus. Tell Devon to try all the Georgian food. He'll love it. He will love it. It's very meat. Thank you for your super chat again, brother. Really appreciate that. Thanks for your kind words. We had a lot of fun with Eddie and Brian match. It was awesome. Frantic's gonna PM me on Facebook to tell me who he is so he can get the Orden match left-handed. Do that, mate. Over to Dev. He's living undercover. Doesn't want to tell everybody who he is on here. Carolyn Looms, Neil Shubich, just by his Insta and East versus West. Is East versus West worthy? There you go. He's backing it. He was a corner man at Knuckles Up and stole the show. Wears the short shorts or the short shorts in arm wrestling history. Not necessarily a selling point in the same way for me, Carolyn. I'm glad you appreciated that. But looking at his arm wrestling, if he is the balls and he knows my guy over here, then yeah, could have a future. But, I'd love to see him up there because he's got a great name for announcing. That is faux show. Now let's have a look. Have we got any more to knock over? Or can we call it a night there, ladies and gentlemen, for the last time pre-Christmas? Just before we do, I want to let you all know that we have an In the Presence of Greatness coming up on the 30th, Monday. Myself and Dev will be on there. Engin Terzi will be on there. John Brezink will hopefully be on there. And Travis Bajent will be on there. So you can only imagine. That could go pretty exciting. I don't think we've got another fix pre-Christmas. What are we? It's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah, so Christmas on Wednesday.
This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one, guys. And there won't be a fix probably on the 29th because of the In the Presence, but we'll be coming back with another one very shortly off the back of that. Guys, have we missed anything tonight or anything any of you want to talk about before we jump off?
Yeah, I guess I'll see you down there. Oh, wait, I got something.
Wait a minute.
So,
is it about Dennis?
I hate that guy. I hate him. What an idiot. What a big, dumb guy. Man, I could go
He just
on
lost
and
his point. He just lost his point, Neil.
You had a serious point. I was just playing.
Totally derailed
Team West.
Yeah.
I've been asked to go a lot of places. I'm struggling. Guys, come here and train with me if you want. We're on a pattern. You want to jump in with this training? I'm telling you, this arm wrestling, like, look at people talk about, I got this great gym. I don't have a great gym, but I assure you that we're doing excellent things here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You want to come up for a training camp? We practice every night. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. That's the only workout we got all day. 4 nights. Anytime.
I think we should organize it.
I'm not taking any time off between now and I get on that plane. Okay.
Listen, guys, get your messages in as well to get Paul Linn on the Suplicy card. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get him on. Come on,
Engin. Whether I get a match or not, hopefully I'll be able to join regardless. So we'll see how it shakes out.
We got 4 great clubs. We got High Hookers. We got Spencerville. We got Gatineau. We got Carleton University. We're rocking it. So
I think it's
I need all the arms
I can get.
4 nights.
I think it's important. It's important for posterity's sake, like with matches coming up, that there's some form of solidarity. And how much are you going to get in one practice or one trip? Who knows physically? But you're going to get an energy exchange, positive energy that I think can carry those intangibles. I think that's really important. I think that's something that's going to help us drastically. I think we just need to organize it, and people need to get outside their comfort zone, get in a plane or get in a car and drive.
There's a lot of complications when it comes to camps and traveling and is it beneficial or not. I think that, if there's a central point of simplicity, it makes it very, very easy. If you say one get together a day for a big practice, do whatever you want for the rest of the day. Except for we'll eat a lot. We'll eat a ton. One massive session, just obliterate each other, Anyways.
And Francis staying there last minute, or he's coming and said, I will come to Canada sometime. So
Come.
He's not kidding.
Come.
Secret source.
Oh my goodness.
Look at
this.
Is
that jambalaya? Is that jambalaya? What is that?
That is marinating beef heart, tongue, and liver stew.
Can I just ask about that head here? Is that essential now because it's that cold outside? Do you have to wear the mask so your ears don't freeze?
It's double. You missed. this one.
That's-
Is that all right?
What temperature is it there now?
It's like minus 19, not including the wind chill.
Oh,
Cold.
oh.
Yeah. Like I wore this out last night with this, and I still got a bit of frostbite on my cheek walking the dog.
That is ridiculous.
Jody's like a freaking witch with her secret nutritional things. She
Yeah,
does.
that's about 5,000 grams of protein right there in that bowl, probably.
Heart, lungs,
Yeah.
liver, like
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Put it down, guys. Next time
done.
you see Devon,
Yeah, we
like
eat the ton. We eat the
300
ton too.
pounds. Put 20 pounds on in 2 weeks. It's Christmas. What? Anything can happen at Christmas. You get enough
Yeah.
protein, just crack out 9 boxes of after eights and go fucking crazy. You know, goddamn protein. It's Christmas. You can do it on celebration. You probably don't have all these great chocolates over in America, but all the Englishmen on this court know exactly what I'm talking about. After eights, Baileys. Do you have Baileys in America, Paul?
Yeah.
Oh,
We got Bailey's.
how good is Baileys?
It's great. It's you talking about like Bailey's Irish cream, like the
That's
liqueur?
the kitty right there. Just
Yeah,
crack,
it's like a shot's like 500 calories.
yeah, crack a
Liquid
couple of
sugar.
pints of Baileys. You might not be in good condition, but you will put on weight. Oh, you will put on weight. You'll become part man, part tit, and you'll have to do it. Let me tell you, that's what I'm there. Because Bailey's is good gear. It is good gear. Let's have a look. I hope I haven't missed any more super chats, guys, because we're going to jump up here. And I want to say a massive Merry Christmas. Mr. G's just
Merry
come in with one.
Christmas.
Thanks, mate. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody this year for supporting the shows. I want to say thank you for the mighty Paul Linn for being the White Hawk and the king, the voice to reason. If you're not sub to Paul, what are you thinking? It's the coolest guy in the game. Hopefully, he's going to get over there and get on the Tbilisi card with myself and Dev as well. I want to say an enormous thank you to Devon Larratt for all his efforts in 2024. He's entertained the living daylights out of the entire arm wrestling community. He's put his body on the line as always, and he has taken the sport to a different level, and we've all enjoyed watching it. So thank you very much for that, Dev. You're the king, mate. Thank you to everybody in the chat, all the fans of the sport for this year. If I do not speak to you before the In the Presence and we get mapped up there, I just want to let everybody know how much we all appreciate you. Myself, Paul, Dev, and all the guys who are doing these shows in the arm wrestling community. We love your support. We love that you guys are so invested in the sport. So thank you all. And hopefully 2025 will get off to another killer with the matches in Tbilisi. The card's not done yet and it's already looking rock strong. So on behalf of myself, Paul, and Devon, we want to wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic Christmas, and we will see you back on Supernatural Strength channel for the In the Presence of Greatness on the 30th. That's Monday the 30th at the normal time of the fix. Paul, Dev, thank you for coming on, guys. Thanks for giving you time. And
Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for everything you do, guys.
Catch you soon, guys. Biggity bong, mother fluffers.
Hmm?